Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Supergirl. This time we're on Season 5, Episode 7, titled Tremors. And in the last one, we had Confidence Women, and we did a good little bit of exploring into Andrea and Lena's history together, as well as somewhat apart. But we did a good bit of exploring Andrea's kind of how their relationship first formed and how it started. Like they met when they were teenagers back in a boarding school, like Lena had said. But then they actually grew together. They got to talking. They talked about their past and their kind of goals and stuff. And Lena talked about wanting to track down the medallion of Krata, I believe it was called. After her mother had told her stories about that thing. And then as when they were older, Lena actually approached Andrea about actually hunting it down, and they went on a whole Tomb Raider quest together to find it. But then Andrea found the medallion, and she was approached in that tomb by a man of Leviathan, and was told that she can take the medallion, and she will have to take it. If she took the medallion and also kept it to herself away from Lena, then Leviathan would help her and her father with their financial struggles and her father's mental struggles as well, which she did. And then Lena found out later on that Andrea had betrayed her, so then her cycle of being betrayed by people started, and then Andrea was slowly being more and more being manipulated more and more by Leviathan, and then met Russell, and then we found out there actually was a legitimate romance to the two of them. And then he was recruited by Leviathan when Andrea gave his volunteered him to be a kind of soldier for Leviathan in exchange for actually saving his life, because otherwise Leviathan would have killed him. So a bunch of stuff happened, and then by the end of the episode, Russell was killed by Leviathan for having revealed their name to Kara. So that happened. But yeah, we just got a good episode taking a look at what Andrea and Lena's history together and apart with their own troubles was, leading all the way up to present day. So that was a good bit of history for us to kind of delve into and see more of where Leviathan actually comes. Well, not so much where Leviathan comes from, but how they actually entered Lena and Andrea's lives, specifically Andrea's. And learning that Andrea isn't actually that much of a terrible person. She's just she was in a vulnerable situation and taken advantage of by this ruthless kind of secret society of sorts. But she also has her own powers. The medallion actually gives her powers, to travel between shadows and to be a kind of the shadowy assassin that we saw killing Catherine O'Connor, the Spider Lady, was in fact Andrea. So she is in that sense, she is one of the assassins under the secret employment of Leviathan. So that's that. And then by the end of the episode, we just had Lena and the DEO beginning their own investigations into Leviathan, where Lena had the medallion that she that Andrea actually ended up giving to her after Lena threatened to mind control Rip Roar into slitting his own throat, which I don't really think she would have done. She was just pushing the boundaries and pushing the pressure onto Andrea, but Andrea gave her the medallion anyway, which I think is also one of the reasons why Leviathan ended up killing Russell, because she gave away her most powerful tool. But then they did say that the Leviathan was never the source of the power. The darkness was always inside her, so maybe it's a biological thing that the medallion is activated by. I don't know, but that happened. And then the DEO, Russell revealed Leviathan's name to Kara, which then got him killed in the end. So people are dying, and Leviathan is the one always pulling the trigger. But Leviathan so far has been shown to be that kind of secret society, to be able to manipulate people and events to their own liking, and to use people at their most vulnerable situations and use it to their own benefit. So they were the ones pulling the strings on Lex Luthor as well, without him knowing it. So yeah, things are happening, and Leviathan is behind all of it. So episode 7, Tremors, don't really know what's going to happen here. I think we're going to be back into the present day and moving forward with this newfound knowledge of Leviathan's name. But yeah, that's it. So let's get into the episode.
You can come out now.
Oh, it's the Granny of Doom, ready to pick up the medallion.
I don't think so.
Whoa!
I have the most intricate security system in the world.
Oh, didn't even open the door, and she still managed to walk out.
Reactivated heightened penthouse. You should cancel the L Corp event at the park. They will come after you.
Let them come.
At a public place? Are they that risky?
Supergirl will save me.
Of course, whenever she wants to do something risky, Supergirl's always part of the plan. Of course. Where are you going, Granny of Doom? Granny Doomsday? Granny Doom? I don't know. Granny of Doom sounds fitting enough. Samuel Winchester? He's a part of Leviathan?
Where's the medallion?
I didn't see that one coming.
Since the beginning.
Since our ship, as big as an asteroid,
Your
wiped
ship.
out the dinosaurs, then humanity rose.
Oh, Leviathan isn't even
Scourged
human.
this planet, and for eons.
Is it her failure, Ramakan? Or is it yours?
Miss Wheeler?
You can go, Margot.
Well, so all these people from other universes and other shows are just popping up now. Great, and Miss Wheeler as well.
Well, they are known as the Snowflake generation.
What does that mean?
Oh, shut up, Karen.
Never mind.
Yep, literally being drilled through the... Whoa! That's him. That's Ramakan. Oh, jeez, okay. Alright, aliens, they have powers. That's a given, pretty much. Oh, jeez, okay.
What's that? Leviathan.
That's Leviathan. Wow, he can heal from that. Okay. Wait, what, is he literally made of rocks?
It was the 8th largest natural disaster in modern history.
Precisely. It's good to have you back, Lena. A myth was born that this man was the cause. Now, this earthbender has
Damn.
been spotted.
An earthbender.
Earthbender?
How else would you describe him? He literally manipulates the earth.
He's an
Wait,
earthbender.
Pompeii?
Great.
Noah's flood? I mean, what is he, thousands
Is
of years
Karen gonna
old?
be a waterbender? I feel like that's what's
Means
gonna
that He's
happen.
an alien with...
I don't know, a Luther in the Fortress of Solitude?
It's gonna be great, but you're
It
gonna...
can't be that bad. I mean, you're the one good Luther there is. I'm sure Supergirl took that into consideration.
Jean, my son.
Mirren's back.
Father, it's good to see you.
Your brother is here.
You mean here in my mind?
No, physically speaking, he's on Earth.
I mean, he's across town.
He's in Lena's lab, Sean.
Anything?
It's a bomb. It's a bomb.
Fall
Get back, get back, get back, get back, get back, get back. How did Brainy get a cut on his head from falling down? Like, that looks like a legitimate blade cut.
I am intact.
Oh, it's his thing's damaged. One of his forehead balls. And it's fixed again. So if you've got all 3 damage, it would just like be like 3... Oh, Alex. Would it just be like 3 cuts across his forehead? Like weirdly symmetrical? Whoa. Oh, Luthor DNA. Oh, no, 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 no. Good Luthor. Good Luthor.
I had no idea Superman would take such extreme measures.
No, if Lex knew about this place, he would do anything or kill anyone to get in here, so...
Well, you are not Lex.
Damn that Lex. Damn that Luthor DNA.
We are miles beyond those boys with their sticks and their stones.
Yes, you are.
No, don't do that. Don't cry. Because if you cry, then I'm gonna cry, and you know I really hate crying at work.
And if you both cry, then I'm gonna start crying. That's just gonna get ugly.
I'm sorry. You were nearly just blown up, and you have a mild concussion.
Take a day to
You can't go back out
rest.
there until you're 100%.
Be smart about this.
Little did I know that that friend could actually fly.
Little did you know.
That was impressive. How often
Worst
you
part
saved
was she
me
actually had
without
her
me
glasses off. She was
realizing,
ready to tell her, and
Our
then
next
just
contact
backed out of
is-
it.
If I can't feel the presence of Supergirl or the Luthor Girl on Earth, then that means they're in the one place on Earth
Fortress.
that is not of Earth.
Oh, so okay, so it's not made from Earth then. He used Kryptonian resources to build the fortress. Okay, that makes sense.
They've long been... I've never interfaced with a quantum processor before. It'd be a bit of a thrill.
Knock yourself out.
This would be so innocent, and this would be so innocent if it weren't for her ulterior motives. That was it? Nah, I feel like she did something else. She did something else. Something sneaky.
Is to let
What are you saying? I can't.
No.
Leviathan.
No.
I
Don't do this
have
to
the
me.
location.
Don't do that to me. No,
must
no,
immediately-
that is unfair. That is unfair. That is no.
Go. Please, go.
Are they gonna break up? No. No, oh, no, please, let them work through this. Please, come on. Let them work
is it?
through this.
Choosing another, the same symbol appears on this building's cornerstone.
It's impressive.
Great.
Not just impressive.
What does the symbol mean, though? Is it a symbol of Leviathan, or is it just one that Leviathan's adopted? Well, I mean, given how long they've been around, it could be one that they made and then manipulated throughout history. Whoa. Okay, well, they're entering Leviathan territory now. Whoa.
Is that?
Oh, Ramakan.
Stay here.
Ramakan's here. This place is ice, though. Can an earthbender take down a place of ice? And apparently the ice too. Boom! There we go.
At least we know my security measures are working.
Oh, so it took them down an extra floor. It took them down an extra floor. Huh.
Here in my house, I have home court advantage.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Yeah, you can't bend ice, Earthman.
Welcome to Krypton, old man.
I wonder what the other woman's power is, though. Boom! There we go. There we go.
You won't survive me again, Kryptonian.
Okay, and he lives to fight another day. And he lives to fight another day. That's great.
Lena?
I have Myriad because I'm using you. Like you used me. Then I met you. And you chipped away at my armor with your warmth and your earnestness, and you convinced me to trust in people, in friendship again, and against my better judgment, I did. And all the while, there wasn't a single honest moment in our friendship.
No, that is not true.
No, I killed my brother for you, for our friends! Don't you understand what you've done?
God.
You are a good person.
No. No, you don't ever get to tell me who or what I am again.
Oh, no, no, Lena, please. Oh, no. Oh, that's kryptonite. That's a cage of kryptonite.
Program fortress defenses to attack me.
Yes.
Oh, jeez, that's what she did.
I'm not a villain. You shouldn't have treated me like one.
God damn it! Everything comes out and nothing goes right. Nothing.
Now you've come to finish what you started?
Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. And he sympathizes. He sympathizes. Oh, okay. So we do get a happy ending out of that one in particular.
Hey,
Oh no, what's about to happen here?
I meant it when I said that you feel like home. Do you feel like home too?
Oh, you both feel like each other's homes. Oh god, Kara, what's happening? Ah, jeez. Is that just gonna slowly kill her, or is she just being weakened? Apparently that's the end of the episode. Apparently. I don't know, it got cut off way too early. But wow. There was a surprising mixture of happiness and sadness in this episode. Just wow. Okay, so let's start off out. My ears are crushed under these muffs constantly. But let's start off with the historical antagonist of this season, which is Leviathan. So I'm confused as to whether or not they're actually still some kind of secret society, since we've only met 3 members. The Granny of Doom, who seems to be human. Well, actually, no, I don't know if she's actually human, because I think he did say we. But yeah, there's 3 members so far: the Granny of Doom, Ramakan, and who I can right now only refer to as Karen Wheeler, because the actress who plays her, Cara Bueno, is Karen Wheeler in Stranger Things. So I mean, if they did say a name, then I must have missed it. But otherwise, I don't really recall any name in particular being mentioned towards her. Maybe in the next episode, maybe the next episode we'll explore who she is. But yeah, we had Samuel Winchester from Supernatural. Well, Samuel Campbell, actually. No, not even Samuel Winchester. Samuel Campbell. Playing Ramakan, the Earthbender of the Leviathan Society, and he's the one who's been here since as early as Noah's Ark. And apparently that's an actual thing that happened. Apparently that is an actual... I mean, it's a religiously kind of interpreted event. So, I guess it's up for debate, unless this is actually an Earth where Noah's Ark and other religious events actually did happen. But I don't know, that stuff's up for debate. They're like, religion is not the question at hand here, but it's more Ramakan's appearance. But he was at Pompeii, he was at many different floods, he was at Noah's Ark, many different historical events he's managed to erase his existence from to an extent. He still shows up in drawings and artwork, but for the most part he has managed to keep himself hidden from said events. What he was doing at these events, I don't know if that... I mean, given his ability to bend Earth, I guess it could be argued that he caused the events, like he shook the Earth to create these events, like the eruption of Pompeii and the flood, and all the other stuff. So maybe he actually did cause the events, or maybe he was there trying to help out. Or I don't know. But he did say, that their ship crashed during the times of the dinosaurs. So they are aliens who came along during the Jurassic or somewhat dinosaur-rassic times. But yeah, so he crashed. They crashed down during the dino times, and he said it was their job, also like the elders entrusted them to take care of the Earth, to take care of this planet. But then humans rose up and started doing their own stuff, like evolutions and revolutions and all that sort of stuff. So they had to try and control humans during those times, or they had to try and keep themselves behind the curtain during human times, so as not to give away their presence and their existence too much. And so far they've done a good enough job of it. Like, they've still managed to remain somewhat of a secret society, but they are here trying to control the Earth or take care of it or something, even with the humans amongst them. So Ramakan seems to be the leader for one thing, but he's also the one in charge of bending Earth, any earthly material. And then we have Karen Wheeler, whose powers are, besides from opening up little windows onto other platforms, into other floors of. I mean, I don't know if it's to the extent of other floors in a building, or if she can actually open up like Doctor Strange style portals to areas miles away or something. But that is one of her things. That's one of her. And she I mean, security measures not really her superpower, but she did avert the security protocols of the elevator to get Brady and Alex to descend one floor further. So she was looking at them in a window through the floor. So that was that. And their planet of origin is apparently a sister planet to Krypton, which is called Johannvor. So I know another planet that's kind of like a relative planet is the one that Mon-El was from, which I believe was called, what was it? I mean, the way I usually remember the name is he was the Prince of something, like a Prince of Dorian? Prince of Dunyan? No, not Dunyan. Prince of I can't remember, what's the name of his planet? Princess, like... Prince of Dopamine. That was the one that popped into my head. Prince of Dopamine. No. Prince of shit. What planet was Mon-El from? Mon-El. DC. No, not DC. That's just gonna. That's not. No. Supergirl. Yeah. Mon-El. Daxam. That's it. Prince of Daxam. Yeah. Not Dorian. Not Dopamine. Prince of Daxam. But yeah, but I think Dorian. I keep saying Dorian. No. Daxam. I'm pretty sure that was still like that was another sister planet to Krypton, right? And then like when Krypton blew up, the pieces of kryptonite and what was left of Krypton came crashing down onto Daxam. So I mean, whether or not the same thing happened to Johanvor, I don't know. But let me actually check. The name is Johanvor as well. I could be getting the pronunciation of that wrong. Johanvor. Nope. Or Supergirl. Johanvor. Or Leviathan. Let me just type in Leviathan. Leviathan. Well, luckily I've seen the episode now, so no spoilers on that front. That's not Leviathan. That's Legends. No. What is Leviathan? Let's explore what is Leviathan. Rama-Khan. Okay, it turns out I've spelt Rama-Khan wrong. It's actually two different words, Rama and Khan. Yeah, so Jahanpur, yeah, Jahanpur, not Johanvor, Jahanpur, yeah, that's almost unreadable, but it's Jahanpur. So yeah, safe to read stuff now that I've seen the episode. No spoilers on that front. And apparently this week's episode of Supergirl isn't actually airing. It's airing next week because Crisis looms ever closer. Crisis looms ever closer. So could be used to build that up. But yeah, so they're from the planet Yeah, it doesn't help that I wrote it over that instead. I don't have any answer. Johanpur, I think. Johanpur. They're from another planet, which is a sister planet to Krypton. And the elders entrusted Rama-Khan to the protection and safety of Earth, whereas Karen, she thinks that they should rely on technology instead of brute force or his earth-bending powers to try and control the situation on Earth, which he realized that, his powers have always worked on Earth, so that's why the elders entrusted him. So I believe he is the older member of Leviathan. But who the Granny of Doom is, I still don't know. I think Granny of Doom seems like a fitting name for now, since she did try to kill Lena, but Lena had the best security system in the world, given that she's a Luthor, but also given she knows exactly what kind of enemies she has, alien and human. So yeah, but that's that. And Brainy, I think, also made a good point of how, like, nowadays we live in like a world where nothing can be hidden. If something goes big in public, people will be pulling out their phones and stuff and live streaming it on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and just word will spread like wildfire the moment something big. If some big Leviathan monster jumps out of the ground and starts attacking people, some people will be running for their lives. Others will be trying to get those views and be the one that spreads the word. Because I think in those cases, like, the people who are on the scene, like, sharing the news on their Snapchat story or whatever, those are the ones who are counted as, like, first-hand witnesses, and they're the ones more likely to end up on TV to be witnesses and all that sort of crap. So, but I mean, he did make a good point of today's day and age being like, like literally, like, any big, like, natural phenomenon or any big, like, invasion will be prone to, like, worldwide media coverage at the hands of big corporations, or even someone who just happens to have their phone on them at the right time. So that is a very, very good point he made. The point he made that also like just reinforces the idea of like anything happening now will not be hidden for very long. Anyone who sees it will take the opportunity to even take a photo and post that online. So yeah, and I think I think the one thing that reminds me of is someone pointing out that if Pennywise from It ever decided to resurface in modern day Earth or like wherever, but like in the modern day, like in 2019 or even 2020, if he ever decided to resurface, he would be defeated very easily by millennials with phones, because they would instantly go to like horror shaming him on Twitter and Facebook and hashtagging him and memeing the crap out of a picture of him, and just just doing what they did to him in it chapter 2, doing what they actually how they actually defeated him, just using technology, just using social media. So like hearing him point out how prevalent social media technology is now just reminded me of that scene, and just that post I saw on Tumblr, just being they would literally smoke him out using technology and social media, and just mock him and harass him relentlessly. And he'd probably be taken down quicker that way too. But yeah, so that is Leviathan and the aliens that that make up Leviathan. And one thing I actually didn't know, it seems more obvious. It seems obvious the more I think about it. But the Fortress of Solitude is actually built from Kryptonian resources. So the ice isn't just ice; it's actually Kryptonian ice, likely built on Earth land. So that makes sense. Especially when he pointed out that they're nowhere on the face of the Earth, and the chances of them actually leaving Earth are highly unlikely. So it must mean that they're on the one place on Earth that isn't made of any actual Earth. So yeah, that was a cool kind of Easter egg too. That was a cool Easter egg too, and then also just a good piece of info that I learned. So I was today years old when I learned that. But yeah, that was that. And Alex and Kelly almost scared the living bejesus out of me. Jesus, hold on. Where's my pen? I lost my pen. Oh, there's my pen. Okay, I can reach it. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, it's unbelievably dusty under my desk. Unbelievably dusty. But they almost scared the living bejesus out of me with their breakup, because that breakup was not something I was emotionally ready to go, especially with all the crap happening with Supergirl and Lena. That was not a breakup I was ready to have to endure. That is not a separation. I think, truth be told, I don't really think they've been together in, episode-wise, or show length-wise, I don't really think it's been an incredibly large amount of time since they've been together. In the end of the end of season 4, to now, that's a handful of episodes, maybe half a season roughly, or just barely half a season really. But even show-wise, or time-wise, I think for them it's been a few months at most, or maybe a couple of months. They had an anniversary, which really would be the obvious hint as to how long that's been, but me being me, with a terrible memory at times, I can't remember what kind of duration of a relationship their anniversary was actually celebrating. All I know is that they were celebrating a certain amount of time of being together, so it could have been a month. I think it's fair to say it was a month, or at least 2 months. Can't have been more than a few months though, because the space between season 4 and season 5 isn't really that big either. So it can't have been more than a couple or a few months. But yeah, them breaking up is not something I'm ready to handle. That's not something I want to happen. I think I believe they've been together long enough for them to still be able to work out the differences. They've never had any kind of rows. They've never had any kind of major differential opinions or beliefs or anything that would actually get in the way of them actually being together. Not to invalidate Kelly's fears. Kelly's fears are perfectly reasonable. She's been through this once. No one in her position would ever want to go through this a second time. But I do believe this is as big as her fear is and as valid as her fear is, I do believe that they are still in a point in their relationship where they can actually talk things through. Kelly can express her fears and express her views very openly with Alex. Alex is definitely going to be the person to respect those fears and talk her through it. And I think that they can definitely still come to an understanding of where they are in their relationships and what they do. So I'm hoping. But in the end, they did come to the very, very sweet and warm conclusion that they are each other's homes, and they find comfort and warmth in each other as a couple should, and they are very, very much in love. So seeing that was definitely very heartwarming to see. But yeah, it's after having lost Maggie, I want to see Alex in a happy and loving relationship that actually lasts long enough, and I think I mean, Kelly, I mean, to my knowledge, Kelly does know about Alex's whole, like, parenthood situation. I think they haven't really explored it much since, the last one, where the girl actually decided she wanted to keep the baby at the last minute, so then that adoption never went through, but Kelly is fully aware that Alex wants to adopt, and she wants to be a mother someday, and as far as I'm aware, Kelly has no problems with it. I mean, she even, I mean, sure, at the time they weren't together, but, you know, regardless of that, Kelly was more than happy to support Alex through this time, and it was one of those things that actually helped them develop together as people, and eventually built up to them actually wanting to be together through the good times and the bad and the hard and all that stuff. So, you know, I think they definitely can talk to each other about being parents. I think they'd make amazing parents. So, you know, that's like, I think like parenthood isn't really something that's much of an obstacle for them, but it's still something that they might want to talk about in the future. But most of all, I think, that obviously for Kelly, the fear is losing Alex the same way, or even for the same reason that she lost her original fiance, which was a fiance last episode. I was confused. I thought it was just a girlfriend, but no, it was her fiance. In the army, but she lost her in action, so knowing what Alex does as well, actually actively going out into the field, stopping alien threats and other threats and stuff like that, but being like with Alex being an active combatant in that kind of field, it's very, very easy to see like Kelly losing her in that situation as well, and that's not something Kelly wants to see. And even like her momentary lapses of blackouts, like seeing the health monitor and all that sort of stuff, and just seeing Alex in different situations and just blacking out, being reminded of what she lost and how she lost it, that was just so surreal to actually watch. And, you know, again, they are definitely in that kind of point in their relationship where they can, like, this is an obstacle for them, there's no denying that, but it is something they can definitely work out, and they love each other enough to want to work it out. But I think initially Kelly's fears kind of overtook her too much to the point where she thought, like, you know, this is not something she can handle again, so, you know, she's too scared to spend more time around this kind of situation potentially happening, so it's better for her to kind of take some time away to think about what it is, or maybe just end it right here and right now. But Alex did point out that, you know, like, they both have their shared traumas, they both have their shared losses, and they're both their own wounds, and Kelly, like Alex said, Kelly helped Alex heal her own wounds that she was suffering from way back when, and now Alex is more than happy to help Kelly do the same. So they're an amazing couple. They're a lovey-dovey couple, and I love seeing them together. So it all works out. It all works out. But yeah, so Alex and Kelly will not be breaking up, but will be enjoying each other's warm, loving embrace for many days to come, and hopefully for many years. But hey, time will tell. But hopefully they do manage to get that into a nice little kind of private talk, and actually get those problems sorted out. But yeah, dancing for the win. So yeah, and I only actually discovered last month that was their official ship name. I was like worried as to what to call them. I think I mean I don't know if I can't remember ever. I mean, I think I saw it here and there a couple of times, but I didn't know if that was their official like ship name. But Danson is their name. So that's cool. And of course, on to the bigger tragedy of the episode. My God, can I just say before I talk about this, Melissa and Katie are just incredible actors. They are incredible actors, and like, you know, like the way like I mean. Props to Katie for pulling that scene off, because she had the most like amount of like dialogue in that scene. So, you know, it was her mainly kind of highlighting that scene, but she her and Melissa bounced off each other so friggin' well with that emotion and with the dialogue and everything. But Katie, my God, that woman knocked that out of the park. She knocked that out of the freaking park so far that you can't even see the ball anymore. That's how well she pulled that scene off. Just like, actually, like, it's not even just the scene of like, oh, the truth about Lena's pain comes out now and she reveals everything she's been doing now. It's literally, you know, her actually like not even just venting but just unloading this stuff, like, girl, go and see a therapist. Lena Luthor is overdue for like many therapy sessions, and this is like, you know, and this wasn't just like, I mean, down to the detail, this wasn't even something that she like this wasn't even her treating this confrontation as a therapy session. This was Lena unloading like all all that, all those buckets of pain that she'd been carrying around, because of like having been kept in the dark and being lied to for years. I mean, I don't want to cause a big ruckus with this, but me personally, I am kind of iffy on her having like being lied to, because I do remember her asking Supergirl her real name once, her real identity, and then like Kara never really said who she was, but she just said, oh, that's not really a good question for someone from your family to ask someone from mine, like knowing the tension between the Supers and the Luthers, like, you know, she just kind of dodged that question ever so slightly, being like, no, that's not really a smart question for someone from your side to ask for someone from mine. But she was still very much kept in the dark, and she did oftentimes manage to make it look very easily like her and Kara were two different people and not at all related. So in that sense, I guess she was lied to, but I think mainly it was just her being kept in the dark and stuff like that. So yeah, but Katie, she pulled off this scene so spectacularly, even, you know, like, even with that line, like, you know, oh, I killed my brother for you, I killed him for you, and stuff like that, and then just so much amazing dialogue in this scene, and Katie executed it perfectly, just solidified that she is Lena Luthor. But I mean, but I think what she solidified even more was the amount of pain that Lena had actually been feeling in all that time, and this is the first time she gets to properly confront, I mean, the first time, like, she wants to confront her, but like, but more than that, she wants to make, she even admitted it there, like, she wants to make Kara feel the same pain that she felt all those years, and also kind of like use her in that same way. But, you know, like, she initially she wanted to, but because of like her the need to make Kara feel that pain being stronger, she just played it off as like, okay, like, fine, I'm shocked at this, but I'm still gonna be your friend and all that kind of stuff. But now it's just like, now it's like we are no longer friends, but it's also like, you know, it's also like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like, you know, it's now it's less like, oh, we're no longer friends, and more like, I had it on the tip of my tongue. It's like there was another word I had to describe it. It's like I can't remember now, but it's like now it's like she's literally just unloading all that pain, and just like, you know, just tired of being lied to, tired of being kept in the dark, and, you know, I think part of her even knows that it's because she's a Luthor, that, you know, everyone knows the history between the Luthers and the Supers, like, you know, like, it's very, very dark and very, very hostile kind of history. So because of that, it's like it would make anyone think that, you know, because Lena's a Luthor, that's why someone would hide being an alien or being like connected to the Supers in any way from her. But, you know, Lena has tried for so long, like, since she came to National City, she's tried to actually wipe out that, like, that kind of bad, like, taste of the Luthers from her name and from her own presence in the world. So to have someone keep that from her, it just makes her feel like, you know, oh, her being a Luthor is never going to go away in Kara's mind. She's always going to have that kind of impression in her mind. But for Kara, that's not what it is at all. And I think, you know, I think Kara did express to her that, you know, it was meant, it literally was just to protect her from being targeted, especially as a Luthor, but also just for being connected to Kara. But I feel like now that argument wouldn't really go as far. But damn, Katie really, she just destroyed that scene. She absolutely just grabbed it with her hands and just tore it apart and being like, yeah, this is my scene, take a bow, this is my scene, take a bow. But yeah, just go to show how good of an actor Katie is. Just go to show, like, when you give her the right material, she can really blow you away. But yeah, that was that scene. So I think it's fairly safe to say that that Supergirl and Lena aren't really going to be in cahoots with each other for a while. Not going to be in cahoots with each other for a while. It's going to take a while for them to mend that part of their relationship. But yeah, I think she walked away with Myriad, I think, still, so she's got that still. So we have like a few happy endings and one not so happy ending. But yeah, that ending, I have no other words for it. I have no other words for it. I mean, I did not see that. I mean, I can't say that I didn't see that ending coming, because the entire time, Lena had me on edge. Katie as Lena had me on edge the entire time. The way she was surveying the room, like taking in everything that she could use, asking these questions, the way she was using the computer, like everything had me on edge. And it's that kind of thing, like, where you know all along that any kind of scene from here on out, and any scene from the beginning of season 5 to now, like, any scene that Lena has with Kara, you know that, like Kara, she's under the impression that she can be more open with Lena now, she can be more friendly with Lena, knowing that she knows her biggest secret. But with Lena, on the front, she's like, oh yeah, like we're still friends, we can still have game nights and morning coffee dates with each other. But then in the back of her mind, she's like, I'm gonna destroy you and turn you into exactly the torn mush puddle that my heart is now. Like that's what Lena's thinking in the back of her mind. Like, how can she use any given opportunity to like manipulate Supergirl and make her feel the same pain? But yeah, that was a tense scene. That was a heavy scene. But I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, I say hopefully they can build things back up again soon. But I feel like it's going to be a good couple of episodes before Lena and Kara even run into each other again. I think it's going to be a good couple of episodes before they actually, you know, like, are able to, like, talk again in any way. And I think they're probably going to decide it's for the best for them to stay apart, especially after Lena kept her trapped in a kryptonite cage. So yeah, but god damn it, I mean, I don't even know anymore. But yes, I genuinely have no words for that scene anymore. Like, Lena herself, she is finally able to vent that pain out, and she's finally able to tell Supergirl what she really feels. But what has that cost her, though? What has that actually cost? Like, she believes that her relationship with Kara / Supergirl is broken beyond repair. But now it's like, you know, knowing Kara, she herself is going to want to fix things with Lena, but she's probably going to stay away knowing how much she's hurt Lena, and it's going to take some convincing from Jean and Alex and everyone else for her to actually confront Lena again and actually tell her how she really feels. So Supercore ain't looking too good. Supercore ain't looking too good, guys. It really isn't, and it hurts me to say that. It seriously hurts me to say that, but I just want them both to be happy together again. I just want them both to be happy. Like, I mean, we get one dose of extreme sadness, and then we get a few doses here and there of actual kindness. But yeah, I guess that's the price you got to pay. That's the price you got to pay. But that was Lena and Supergirl. Lena and Supergirl / Kara. And then the one I did not see coming, Jean confronting Malefic. I mean, he confronted his father. I mean, he had a kind of mental counsel with his father first, and his father told him, like, you know, you can confront him. He is here now. But you pay the risk of losing your life in doing so. So he took the Phantom Zone projector to him anyway. I do think that was a contingency anyway. I think in the end, like, he didn't want to have to lose his life, but I think in the end he probably would have used that anyway, because I think that there's no other reason for him to have brought that. But in the end, he did manage to find his brother and confront him. And even he even opened his mind up to him and showed him everything that happened. And I mean, I guess looking into the pain that Jean and Mirren felt opened Malefic's mind up to more than just the kind of trauma that he had suffered. Like, his trauma was built up from isolation and hatred. So looking into Jean's mind to gain a more sympathetic view really opened him up to the pain that Jean caused himself just by doing that, and the pain that Mirren was suffering from knowing what he had done to his son. So I feel like maybe that was what actually encouraged Malefic to be more open, because as soon as he looked into Jean's mind and then got blasted away again, and then he held out his hand, and I was like, wait, what's happening? Is he actually... did his mind change that quickly? But Apparently did. I mean, because it would make sense in that case, because then not only would he see what really happened, but he would also be able to actually feel Jean's pain as well. He would actually be able to feel Jean's and Mirren's pain combined, and that would open his mind up to the hatred he had kind of built up for himself, and the hatred that he had allowed himself to live with for so many years. So it would definitely be a step up from what had happened there. But yeah, Jean and Malefic are back together again. They are brothers once again. So I mean, once Lena gets back to her lab, she's going to be kind of in an awkward situation, just seeing two brothers hugging it out in a cell. But then Jean's probably going to want to confront Lena after what she's done, like keeping her brother captive for so long, and even inflicting mind control upon him. But I don't know. I mean, I think he got in there like phasing through a wall or something, so maybe he can just get Malefic out of there before Lena even comes back. Like he's gonna want to get Malefic out of captivity as soon as possible, so he might even manage to get out of there before Lena comes back. But then Lena's gonna have to face the trouble of like a missing Martian from her lab. So that's gonna be a whole other dilemma she's gonna have to deal with. But I think Lena's gonna be too busy like distancing herself from Supergirl and also dealing with that whole dealing with all that trouble to even consider consider the trouble of a missing Martian. But yeah, the Alex and Kelly actually, you know, getting reeling themselves back from the verge of breaking up and confessing their love for one another once again. That's a win. That's a definite win. Jean and Malefic actually making up as well, and actually like confronting each other and talking to each other, and Jean opening his mind up to Malefic to be able to see his own pain, and then the two of them making up as well. That's also a win. And the third win we could have had, that was taken away from us, was Lena and Kara. Just that whole confrontation. I mean, that was never gonna have a happy ending in my book. That, like, in my eyes, I think Lena had been stewing her own plan and her own kind of mysterious agenda against Supergirl. She'd been stewing that for far too long for that to have a happy ending. Kara was never going to talk her out of that. Lena had to tell her about that plan and tell her about her true pain in order for that to ever be resolved. So, you know, I think there was no easy way out of that one. Like Lena had to actually confess about her real pain and stuff. But that scene again, like where she's like, "I killed my own brother for you," that one took me away. Like, that one literally made me shed a tear. So, you know, and it's like, oh, jeez, just again, that whole damn scene. I think so far that is literally the most emotionally gut-wrenching scene of this season for me personally. You guys might have different opinions, but that scene, just wow. So yeah, I think Lena and Kara are definitely gonna have their own kind of friendship issues / relationship issues from this episode forward. So it's likely gonna take quite a bit of time for them to be able to reconcile this, and how they reconcile it, I don't know. But Supercore is in trouble, and I think to be honest, like before they even enter any kind of relationship level, I think they're gonna have to repair their relationship at a friendship baseline before going on to have a relationship. They're gonna have to actually rebuild the foundation of their friendship before moving on to anything else. So I think they both have to be able to talk to each other in a civilized manner and actually talk to each other about their history and about the pain that they've suffered and shared and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, if that ever happens, then yeah. But that is all I can actually think to say about that scene, besides from Katie's amazing acting in that scene, and also Melissa's amazing response to that scene. But yeah, I don't know. It's not looking strong, but I'm sure we will get through it as a fandom. We will get through it, and I'm sure they can execute that build up in the right way and in the best way possible. But yeah, so we find out what Leviathan is. Alex and Kelly are not breaking up. Jean and Malefic are back together in the familial sense, and Kara and Lena just just everywhere, just everywhere. So yeah, that was Supergirl season 5 episode 7 titled Tremors. But yeah, that is it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think of everything that happened in this, and what you think of Leviathan and all the reconciliation in this episode, and also the big, massive kind of earth-shaking breakup in this episode as well. But yeah, that is it. So I will see you guys next time.